Hello, this is a league game played on 3 handicap between a 5Q and an 8Q player that white won by 9.5, and actually the game would have been much closer if black doesn't lose 4 stones towards the end when playing the small endgame stage. So let's check it out from the beginning. Now white starts with a start point, a Hoshi, but in a handicap game it's recommended to play a Moku or a 5-3 or maybe a 5-4 in order to go for more complicated Josekis early on, because playing the start point, the Josekis are quite simple. So black plays a low Kakari, white defends very calm, then we have a basic Joseki in the top left corner. So far so good, so black still keeps the advantage of the 3 handicap stones. Now if white would start with a 3-4 move, then when black approaches the corner, there can be a pincer like this, and the Josekis start to be more messy. And this way white gets to develop on both sides, left and the top. So he speed up a little bit of Fuseki and tries to catch up for the handicap disadvantage. Anyway, nothing wrong with this. And now white approaches from the outside. This is good directional play. Black decides to play a pincer and white simply enters the corner. It's a fine idea for black to separate here. If black wants to go for a Moyo, black would block c4, then set up a wall facing the left side. But the problem is black has a stone at c11, so for white it's very comfortable to play a shoulder hit and reduce the potential Moyo, the big framework on the left side. So this wouldn't be so effective. Therefore, it's a good idea for black to separate at d3. But now the Hane in the head of 2 stones, it's a little bit dangerous here, because white has a stone at f3. So the normal Joseki is to simply no-B and keep ahead but connected. Then white would Hane, d2, block, connect. Now black can connect in 2 ways. e3 would be the classic way, or connect under at f2, which is the modern style. And then white extends to finish up the Joseki and secure the corner. Now black hits Sente, so black can grab another big point. Either a tight defense in the top or a San and Sei, or a lower right corner defense. But when black plays the Hane, this is a bit dangerous. So white can simply descend at c2, threatening to connect under, and then cut. Now black's options are pretty limited. So if black wants to save the 3 stones on the bottom, then black needs to play Atari and connect with a tiger mouth, a hanging connection here. Then white captures the stone on the left side. Now if we compare this variation with the actual Joseki, the proper Joseki in the previous sequence, this result is better for white, because the corner is bigger and c5 Hane got punished, being captured. Now if black becomes more ambitious, so for example after the no-B and cut, if black wants to save the stones on the left side, like going out at c6, then white will cut at e4, and this will end up in a disaster for black, because the ladders are not working. So when Atari, white will turn it with Atari, so the ladder is broken already. Then when black tries to connect under at f2, white simply wedges, and then Atari, and it's done. Either Atari like this or like this. So white will capture all the stones, and this is a collapse. Now sometimes in this position, black might think that he can Atari and Hane in order to connect to the h3 stone, but white can Atari under and Hane and capture the group faster. So it's also a collapse. Therefore, white could punish this Hane in the head of 2 stones at c5 by simply going down to c2 and cut. If black connects, white will connect under, and then again it's fine, because the original plan for black was to separate f3 from the corner, and now they are connected again. So back to the original game, white played a Hane, then this reverts to a completely different Joseki. It's like the Joseki when white invades the Sansan against the start point, and there are no other stones on the outside, so we can just disregard f3 and h3. And now white played away. Actually in this position, white can play the Hane and connect in Sente. and the corner looks quite safe, but f3 just remains there as Agi. So playing from the outside, r6 is good directional play because there's more space on the right to develop. But here, black can ignore. Black can just descend d2. This is a move to threaten the life in the corner. So white will push first at b7 in order to expand his eye space. Black can think about no b or even block because black has a stone at c11, so in case of a cut, just extend, and then white has to come back and live in the corner. Also, it's the same thing if black simply no b, white will descend at c2 to make twice. Otherwise, if white plays a double approach, black can go out in center and jump in the corner b2 in order to kill the group on the left side. This way, white can only make one eye. So it's pretty big for black to go d2. If white blocks right away at c2, black will also turn b7 in center. Now white needs another move to leave. If white ignores this one, then black will hane, and this will lead to the j group, and it's dead unconditionally. No call, simply dead. 2 false eyes and 1 valid eye in the corner. That's why white has to push first at b7 and then come back to c2 in order to secure the corner. So when black descends, push first and then block c2. Now the corner is alive, but f3 is losing some power, and then black has time to come back and defend at o4 because the exchanges in the lower left corner are center for black. So black defends right away. And now we have the same Joseki again, the basic one. It's nothing wrong with this, but black can also think about other options. For example, pincer r8. Now if white enters the corner, which makes sense because black didn't take the Sansan block, black will go for the outside. Now usually this Joseki is good when the ladder works for black, but in this case black can just extend. And now black is looking for a very nice moyo in the middle, giving up the corner for the moyo. Another follow-up, and this is a little more aggressive, would be to play the attach at r7. Now white can hane down or hane up, one or the other. If hane under, then crosscut, atari from the outside and extend. Then white will enter the corner, but black is already happy with the outside thickness and can play away, shoulder hit or play a big point, but again black is looking for a nice moyo in the center. So give up the corners, but use the wall on the left and try to set up a pretty nice framework in the middle. Now if black plays hane above, white plays hane above, black will no b, then hane under, one space jump, double up to prevent the push and cut. White lives in the corner and black extends again on the bottom. So in this case, black gets to make the territory on the bottom and settle a base on the right side, while white simply lives in the corner and has a wall facing the middle. So this will reduce the potential black is looking for, but it's also a fine Joseki because black has to develop on both sides and it's very comfortable. So black should think in the future to use the attach at r7 or the pincer at r8, not always the r3 block, which is the most common move. So here white extends again, then black goes for a small capture. Now if black simply plays this move, white is happy to discard it because black put a lot of effort to capture one stone here and white is center, so white grabs another big point right away. Therefore it's more interesting for black to play the descent, which kind of kills f3 indirectly. Then black can play a sequence of forcing moves on the right side in order to set up a wall, and instead of playing the Kosumi to capture f3 on a small scale, it's more interesting to play a 1 space jump or a 2 space jump, something to grow the box towards the center. So white attacks the top right corner, that's a big point. Then we have the same Joseki again. White can also consider the Keima on the 4th line like this. But well, it's nothing wrong to play L17. It's just that white's position in the top seems a little bit flat, having all the stones on the third line. So stepping up to the fourth line will alternate a little bit. Having a stone low, a stone high, another stone high, another stone low. So it goes in waves, which is the general good principle to build territory. And for example, if black plays R11, white can add another move on the fourth line and build more territory in the top like this. And the formation looks pretty ideal. Anyway, there's a gap in the top where black can invade. So whichever move white plays, fourth line or third line, black can still come inside. But if something like this happens, it's not a big deal because black is a little bit on the run. So white can fight. It's good to consider that M16. But okay, basic Joseki is the third time we see this Joseki in the game. So this seems both players have a mindset of a peaceful game. Maybe because it's a league game and it's more serious with more time thinking, they don't want to risk or take any chances in the early stage of the game. This is a large point. R11 is very good for black because if black plays somewhere else, for example L4, white is happy to approach R12 in order to attack the corner. This usually requires a response at R18. So white plays a shoulder hit to reduce the bottom side. That's a pretty nice idea. Actually, in order to use the agi of F3, white can think about moves like K2, but it's a little bit too deep. So in this case, I would play a shoulder hit here and one space jump to stay a little bit away from the lower left thickness. But this is also a pretty nice key point. So if black plays, for example, L4, white will drop down, threatening to connect under, then jump out. And it's quite easy to damage the moil like this. Good for black to block at J3. One space jump, it's light, very nice. Now here black has several ways to think about an attack. For example, the peep, and then the forcing moves on the right side. And then continue with Keima like this in order to put more pressure on the 3 stones. If the 3 stones are going in the direction of the wall, this is good for black. So this is how black can use his thickness to attack very severe and eventually kill the group. Playing like this, black is going to build territory near the wall, but it's not as effective. And here, instead of pushing from behind, white can just jump out with a Keima to go faster into the center. Now like this, black is ahead, and Keima to get ahead, that's good. Yeah, it's better to keep pushing from behind. This way, black will build way more in the center. So black plays a shoulder hit to reduce the top, that's a nice idea. Instead of invading, Nobi is good too. And white switch direction here. That's a little bit dangerous. Normally just Kosumi to stay connected. And when black answers, push under from the left side. Then white should think about a way to separate the 2 stones in the top. Normally, if white simply turns, it's very easy for black to set up a sabaki or a light formation in the top. But white can play some forcing moves like this on the left side. Then think about a cap on the 2 stones, and now they are heavy. So white played this move, and this is a little bit dangerous because black can think about cutting Keima at the waist, like this. If white starts the ladder, black will go out because the ladder goes into the black stones in the top right. So this kind of fight can be promising for black. Also, black can think about cutting the Keima like this. So now when white goes out, black goes out, and the 2 stones in the middle are heavy too. This attach, it's too submissive. White Hane, very good. And then also bump to force black into an empty triangle formation. So here black can pull back. Then if white connects, black will Hane and enclose the middle. But the problem is the 2 stones in the top get weaker and weaker. So at this stage, black should do something about the top. fix those heavy stones. Also, when black pulls back, if white starts an attack in the top, black can think about a cut in the center. So simply Nobi to the left, then bump, and now defend. Now here black can play with a bit more fighting spirit. So let's say turn, push, and cut. Even if white enters the left side, black can fight like this. It's true black is not going to build the left side as in the game, but at least fight in the middle and also ruin the potential white has later on. This feels a bit strange because it forces the empty triangle. I mean, if white would go down first and black simply connects, when white hane, black will never play the turn. Black will cut or play hane. Cut would be the most natural move. But this way, black got into a bad shape. So white's order of moves was very good to play hane at h10 and then push j8. Now in the center it's a bit tricky, there are cutting points. So white should play the table shape and then when black turns, simply go up. And this just weakens the top stones even more. Playing like this it's a bit dangerous, black can cut. Black was calm. Cut where you can cut and think after. Then when white plays the table shape, black can now be here and now jump out and try to catch the two stones indirectly while fighting. This gets a bit tougher for white because white is fighting inside black's sphere of influence. Now that's just submissive. So black expands the territory with a couple of points but makes white stronger in the center. This push is not really necessary, should go back and protect against the cuts. Either like this, or play a shoulder hit and attach again in order to prepare the attack in the top in Sente. Then came like this. It's very difficult for the two stones to escape now. When black comes out in the middle, white will attach, pull back, play a peep like this, and surround everything. And because of those forcing moves on the left side, it's difficult for black to connect to his stones on the left. So this would be a pretty easy win for white now. So push, peep at the cutting point. Not so nice because there's a cut here, there's a cut here. It's obvious that black wants to save the two stones in the top and also somehow be active, but it's good enough to play a one space jump and leave the cut Aji there. So when white connects, jump along. Then white might connect under in the top and black can play away, reduce the right side. Actually, with these moves, black doesn't allow white build much in the center. In the game, white build lots of points in that area. This jump is good. Now here, black should pull back. It's still a bit dangerous. White can push, Atari, Hane, Atari again, and disconnect the stones on the left. That's a pity. But like this, it's even more easy for white. White should continue with the Hane. Well, it's kind of sent to play this Hane too, but this could have been played a long time ago anyway. The thing is, right now, if black it's aware of the danger in the top left, we'll fix the problem here and give up the bottom stone and keep center. Now play some other big point. So white should take the opportunity to cut at c12 right away. And here white can just go down. Let's see if black cuts. It's still very dangerous for black because the left side is not alive yet. This bump gives black some moves to connect under or leave. Yeah, this is fine. Atari, and actually black has to descend. Now if white separates, black will leave in the corner like this. And if white captures the cornerstone, black can connect under. So black didn't suffer that much, but now white can play Atari and connect, and it's a bit more difficult. So here we have a co-fight. Oh, sorry, it's not even a call. Ouch, just that. So black got a little bit lucky on the left, not dying right away. Now run out with those stones, it's important. White can play on the right side. This exchange is center to make sure black stones in the middle won't connect to the right. Then peep like this, push along and cut. If black tries to resist this cut, it's a problem too. So like this, black will just lose more stones. This was a little bit slack. It's a powerful shape, but allows black escape. Here black can just go down. Well, it's pretty much the same thing on Atari, must connect. It's not necessary to sacrifice another stone, because anyway it's Gote. So should take the Gote that loses less points. And playing the connection is good, because later on, black and Atari in center. So black will make more points on the left side. Like this, if white also captures the stone in the corner, black might end up with 0 points here. This is center, but that can wait. Here black can block. If white cuts, black will just extend. If white hane, black can throw in and then extend. And if white clamps, black will go down. And on this cut, Atari capture the stone. And if white cuts this way, black will fight. So it's good enough to play the hane in this case. It seems a little bit dangerous, but it's actually fine. Because like this, white will just push more. And every point matters, especially this game was very close. Black doesn't always have to block like this by reflex. In this case, it's better to play Keima. Because if white hane, Atari and connect, black can play M3 and connects the bottom stones and builds more territory when he wants to leave. Like this, black ended up with a small life. In fact, it's very good to go Nobi here to prevent the Atari. And from Nobi, next step, black can jump into the center. That Atari feels good for white. And white took it right away, very good. And normally it's good enough to connect, because even if white pushes and turns and so on, black will leave. So now black can play away. Now here white captures stone in center, then puts more pressure on the group. This group almost died. In fact, here white can just go up. And well, the group is alive for now. But in the end, it's gonna be a very small life. When hane, you need to live like this or like this. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 points life. It could have been a bigger territory. This hane is good. Push, it's okay. And now black can just cut. Well, this can end up in a co-fight. But if white simply connects, black will capture 2 stones, Atari, connect. So this is a bigger life. It's 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 points, not 4. Well, it's true, white also gets some more potential in the center. And that's why black played here. So now, white peeps. Oh, black should connect this. It's very big. Because the cut at K2 is still there. So white needs to defend eventually. Then black can push one time. Oh wait, this push, it's not even necessary. Atari here. The group is alive. So then continue with other moves. The problem is white can capture here in center. Very good. So black needs to play this move, and on the hane, descend, make twice or descend in the corner. Yeah, this will leave too. But white got nice profit capturing the 2 stones on the bottom. Now here, black should take the stone right away. If white pushes, capture. I mean, normally, the endgame is like this. White will push, black covers, white plays Atari, black captures. But white skipped the exchange 1, 2, and he played 3 right away. So when white plays this move, we can imagine that P17 and Q17 was exchanged, so just capture Q19. Of course, it's also okay to capture Q17, but the endgame will be different because white can go down, threatening to save that stone. So black needs this move anyway. And if black plays away, white can extract this stone and connect under. So it's more profitable to capture from q19, because later when black plays the hane at o19, if white blocks, this can set up a call. So white usually plays a one space jump here. Then when black pushes his gote, so black is not encouraged to push, and therefore white has a chance to block here at some point. So when white played this o18, he hoped that black will connect here, and this way white can link under. But white left the position like this. Okay, he closed some points in the middle. Very good to play this hane and the bump and capture a stone in center. Sorry, in gote, but it's pretty big. And now for black it's very big to play the hane in the top, because this hane is threatening to damage some points. So white has to jump and then play away. In fact, that hane was played a little later. That's a good sequence for white. Now bump, okay, the hane. And here white doesn't have to turn, white has to jump. So when white jumps, white finishes gote for now, but if black pushes here to destroy a couple of points extra, white can play away. So now white is center, which means if black still wants to keep center, black will play away, and later white has a choice to block, or a chance to come back. But playing like this, the sequence will end up the same. So black pushes, Atari connect, and black needs this m18 anyway. So that's why it's good to play m18 directly, because this is a sequence where white accepts all the pushes from black in center. So it's better to play the gote right away at m18 and later come back and block at n18. This happens often. This leaves some cutting points. So black can just block, and then white pushes, block, push, block. If white cuts, black will just make some extra points. Nothing happens here. So Kosumi push, block, then peep, okay. These are all sente. Yeah, now it's too late to play this Atari. It's not going to be sente, but earlier it was. And if this Atari is sente, then black can go down and save the point at g2. Every point matters in a close game. Well, if black plays Atari now, white can Atari under and connect, but this would be gote for white to damage a few extra points, then black captures the coin cente. And g2 is just gote. Ah, that was pretty big. So for black it's quite nice to play here. The problem is white can cut, then Atari again, and connect. Or cut. So this will damage too many points in the center. Therefore black needs to protect here. So white got that profit. This was center, well done. This move it's also super big. Hane here it's center. Yeah, black has to go down and stay alive. Fine. So the group got 3 points in the end. This is also a very big endgame. Oh, it wasn't center to play in the top. So that's only 2 points gote. Black should capture this guy in center. Then, where else center? Ah, push here and play Atari. Oh, and then play the Hane in center. Because now it works. I mean, if white plays away, for example, double Atari, cut, Atari, Atari again, and capture everything. Boom. So it's very important to have that stone first. And now white will connect. Then push here and connect. White needs to come back. Push like this, Atari connect. Push here once, bump. And like this, black is not going to lose those stones on the right. Atari. In fact, this capture is not so big right now. So how would be the score if black doesn't lose those stones? I'm not sure I have a score estimator here, so I should count, but I guess it's very close. So both white can and black can win this game by 1 or 2 points. Very good for white to play t12 in center, But instead of defending here, white should play no b up. If black cuts, white can answer all these moves. And even if black cuts here, white will cover and there are two liberties, so there is no way to capture anything in the top. Ah, that was greedy. The Kosumi doesn't work. I mean, if black connects, white pushes through. So better play the bump and next think about the push, then white has to block. This is fine. Okay, that's already 1, 2, 3, 4 points minus. And that was greedy too. Now actually black can play Atari from the other side. Then push. And like this, black is not going to lose the stones like it happened in the game. So Atari, connect. Oh, that move is not necessary. Black should connect here. Well, white has this hane, but the thing is, if black cuts and white starts the ko, black will capture the ko and it's very big. So even if white plays some ko threat, let's say going for the 4 stones, black will just ignore and capture everything on the bottom. So this is a very heavy ko for white. White is supposed to capture the 2 stones, then black connects. So black shouldn't worry about the block at h4 right away, but defend the right side. And anyway, playing a move here, it's minus 1 point, actually minus 2, because when black plays Atari here, black saves a point in this area and also doesn't need to play inside. So it's much better to block this way, but first of all, the stones on the right side should be connected. Because playing like this, white can push and then connect. So black just lost 2 points inside, instead of playing Atari and go for a point on the outside. Well, capture is probably better. So here black can, white can just play Atari and capture the 4 stones without any preparation. But it was good style to play like this, because after capturing the 4 stones, white can take 2 more. And now when white captures 2 stones, black takes 1 back, so that's 1 point in center. This is fine. That's also okay. That's good too. In fact, capturing 2 stones here, it's always center, because if black ignores, white will take 1 more. And that's pretty much it. So a pretty good game by both players, especially white, who managed to build this territory in the middle and the top. And I think lots of interesting sequences to go over. So enjoy the review and play better next time.